So, man, I spent 3 hours. My mom lives in a retirement assisted living apartment. And my dad used to be there, and they had 2 rooms, 2 bedrooms basically. And my dad passed away, and she hasn't really gone, you know, when she has stuff in her room and her living room or kitchen and stuff, needs to go someplace, she could just go put it in that room. And then all my dad's stuff is still his books, picture albums, records, whatever. It's all bookshelves in there. A lot of UPS, empty UPS envelopes, boxes, empty envelopes, the big envelopes. Just lots of those and stuff. And then books and stuff that should be delivered to somebody. We should send, you know, should go to this grandson, that grandson, great-granddaughter, whoever. I spent 3 hours yesterday doing that, and that is exhausting. I got about 6 more hours, I think, to go. So, my channel is not a silver stacking channel, it's a family channel. And boy, the story has just, my family story is just really thick. Last 24 hours. You did that to me, Lauren. Well, I really know. I had nothing to do, and this stuff needed to be done. So, before my mom and dad moved there, they had a fire in their kitchen. Actually, the fire in the kitchen was 2 or 3 years before before my dad had a fall that ended up in the retirement community. But the fire, maybe that's not, yeah, I'm not sure how it went, but they had a kitchen fire, and kitchen fire messed up the house and all, you know, smoked up everything or whatever. The stuff went to Stanley's steamer cleaner or what, Steamatic or wherever. They put everything in boxes. They took it and they had it steam cleaned, and then the construction company come in and did repairs to the house and sold the house. So I was talking to my dad one day, and he said, "Where's those family Bibles?" And I said, "I don't know." And he says, "I remember somebody told me they put the family Bibles in the trunk." I said, "It wasn't me." And he was a little upset about it. Things went on. But later on, the same thing came up. He did the same thing to me. This is the second time he did it to me. He says, "Where's those family Bibles?" "I don't know." He says, "Well, one of you guys told me you put them in the trunk." I said, "Dad, I drive a truck. I don't have a trunk." He's like, "Somebody needs to take care of this. One of you guys told me you put it in the trunk." "Dad, I don't have a trunk. It wasn't me." I have 2 brothers, by the way. An older brother and a younger brother. I'm the black sheep, middle. So everything always gets taken out. Look up what it is to be middle child syndrome, anyway. Not that it's any worse than I'd rather be a middle child than this mosquito. I'd rather be a middle child than an older child or I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna have to call the health department. So anyway, yeah, I'm middle child. You can look that up, what middle child is. So my dad was just pissed at me. He was yelling at me and stuff. He was mad. He was, you know, he's older, kind of. Oh, he's a lot like Joe Biden. Got a cool kitty here. So I went over to the house where all the stuff had came back from the steam cleaners and was in boxes. And each boxes was in, there's like, the house actually, if you count all the rooms in the house, the basement, upstairs, it's got an indoor swimming pool in it for one, 2-car garage, and full basement with a bomb shelter and all kinds of crazy shit. They box up everything and put all the boxes in each room in piles. So now everything, instead of being shelves or something where you can see what everything is, it's in a box and it's wrapped up in brown paper. Spent 3.5 hours going through boxes, and in the most unlikely place found 2 Bibles in a box, all wrapped up in brown paper. And I took them home, and then I took them over to my dad, and I said, I found your Bibles. I said, they weren't never put in no trunk. I didn't tell you I put them in any trunk. I don't have a trunk. I said, they're right here. I found them. It took me 3.5 hours to find them, Dad. And they were never left the house. So somebody told you that they put them in the trunk, which wasn't me because I don't have a trunk, so it must have been one of my 2 brothers told you that. Those Bibles never left the house. They didn't put them in the trunk. I know that because they went to Steamatic, they got cleaned with everything else, and they came back in a box. So my mom says, well, you know, maybe your dad's just mixed up, blah, blah, blah. I said, look, Mom. I said, I got 2 brothers. I got an older brother, and I got a younger brother. And then I got my dad. I said, let me tell you my choices. Either my younger brother's lying to me and lying to my dad, or my older brother's lying to me, lying to my dad, or my dad is lying to me, and lying to himself. I said, Mom, which one do you think I'm going to choose? Who do I think's lying to me? My 2 brothers or my dad? Because I'm really used to my 2 brothers lying to me, but the idea that my dad's lying to me, that just don't fit. Damn, I'm gonna come back and do this in part 2, 3, 4. It's a family channel. I'm gonna do some family Bibles. Woo, look at the dust come out of there. So this one's looking good. I got enough of this edge pulled back that I can put a mesh in here to connect this cover onto here. So I'll have a mesh piece coming up, and then I'm gonna probably stitch. There's a piece that was stitched. The stitch is right there. So I did cut a stitch here, or no, these stitches have been broken. So I'm gonna put these stitches back in, and then I'm gonna do a mesh over this right here, about 3/8 of an inch maybe across here with the mesh, and then a cover piece, antique paper to match this paper over that to reconnect that. And then that mesh will go down in there over those stitches. The stitches that go across the back that go over those and glued on. So that's this side. And when I glue back together, then all this brown stuff will glue back down together. So it will be a nice brown edge across there with no tape. All original. All original. It's pretty touchy, but this one is readable. You can turn the pages and stuff without breaking it. It doesn't have any cracked pages or anything, so this Bible can actually be used. Probably was used the most out of the two Bibles. So this side, yeah, I got a light. I got a light. I gotta get a lighter. So whoever rebuilt this Bible last, tried to put these fat photo cards with no photos in there. They rebuilt it and added those, I think. Or they added those. I don't know. They were sewed in though. Somebody sewed them into the book. They didn't just glue them. They used this piece right here, which came unglued, and it was holding these in, which didn't belong in there. And these are blank pages. These are blank pages, and then there's a section of pages. This section of pages was torn out, and it was in there, but it come unglued. So the section that was torn out came unglued. This came unglued. These blank pages came unglued. The actual family portraits did not come unglued, and the book, the cover busted stitches and fell off. And come unglued. That's where I'm at. So these, whoop-de-doo. So again, I had to pull a little, like a half an inch to the back, all the way across here off, so I can put a mesh in there, and then I'll be able to mesh over, or mesh up into, mesh up underneath this, and then I will glue this piece right here down over this. Yeah, like that. And this has the same finish, so it will look the same color, and it will all be as original as it was when I found it. And then I put some glue on here, because this is starting to fall off of its cardboard. Falling off of its cardboard. That's not going to be a problem. And then this will all be glued together and stitched together. And when it's all glued and everything, then the back and the side should all come together in its original color. That is part 1 of this video, and I don't know where it's going to go because this Bible was in the blacksmith's house in Pawhuska. When Pawhuska and the Osage Indians settled in Pawhuska, this Bible was in, I do believe this Bible was in the blacksmith's house, which is historical monument in Pawhuska. Got a video on it that shows a little sign outside and tells he was a Swiss blacksmith and who wrote a book about something. So I guess that's maybe part 2. Not sure what part 2 is.